What is the most satisfying part of teaching online for you?
For me, one of the most rewarding things is just getting time with the students and being able to share with them my passion, which is English. That's what I teach. And so I have really enjoyed every opportunity to use all the skills that I possibly can and that I have garnered over the years in the classroom with the students, and to make this a very enjoyable experience for them and a very educational experience, but also one that will be memorable too.
What's your favorite online teaching memories?
One of my favorite memories was at the end of the academic year, and we were just sharing, and it was just like a sharing time at the end of the academic year. And I had so many students just tell me how much the effort that I put into teaching meant to them, and how much the year has been a joy for them and something that they will just really carry with them going forward. And that meant the world to me, that everything that I had worked for over the year, that I put my time, my effort, everything into planning, into delivery of the lessons, that it really made a difference. And it wasn't just one or two, it was like many in the class. They sent me messages through email, but also in the class session itself. They wrote me in the chat, they told me verbally, orally, and I was just overwhelmed at such an impact that I had made on them. And they also made a huge impact on me, and I was able to share that with them. And so it was just a great sharing time.
How do you keep students motivated?
Well, there's a lot of different things to make sure that we're doing from a teacher's side of things. We have to make this an experience where they feel like we are taking the extra measure to get them engaged in the classroom. And that's a difficult thing to do. It does take time, it takes practice for teachers to do this, particularly in an online setting. But with time and practice, it happens, and we do it. And that's something that I've been working on in the craft of education for many years now. I've been a teacher for 17 years, and been teaching online for the last 3 or 4. And I can tell you that in the beginning, yes, it's a challenge, but that's why teachers who are willing to rise up to the challenge will make the most of it. And I can say that one thing that I do in the classroom to make it more interesting for students is to give them a wide variety of activities, to change up what I'm doing in the classroom from one part to the next part of the lesson, not to make sure that I'm staying on one thing too long, because the attention span in the younger generation tends to be very short, shorter than in my generation. And I have to work on that to make sure that we are changing things up at a speed that is just right for them, and keeping it engaged, keeping it interactive and exciting.
Misconception about online teaching.
Well, I think a lot of people are worried that their children or their students are going to be missing out on something. But I can guarantee that we have a holistic program. We have everything that, the schools would offer on a bigger scale. And if we can really just mention the positives here, there's diversity. So you have students from every corner of the world, and you have teachers from all over the world. Myself, as from another part of the world, and being able to interact with students from every single continent, all these different countries, all these different backgrounds. And we're able to come together and work for a brighter future for them, but also for the school itself, building our institution and making a name for ourselves, because that's one thing I really believe in is this school.
Best feedback received from students online.
All right, I have one student in particular. I won't name her to keep her anonymous here, but she messaged me and she gave me an email, and she told me that she has really such a strong love now for English and for school, whereas before she did not actually enjoy, in her previous school, she didn't really enjoy the experience of education and learning, and especially in relation to the subject of English. And yet, after the year that we had together, and she was in the group learning program, and she told me that she just loved it so much, and the experience that I provided for her in the classroom here at International Schooling was one that she will never forget. And she said, I hope that I have you again next year, Mr. Jacob, because you're my favorite teacher and the best teacher I've ever had. And so that was one of the most lovely things I've ever heard from a student. And that's why I do what I do, is to really get people to love English and to love school and to love learning.
What is the best part of teaching online?
Is reach. The reach that I have is so much broader, so much bigger than anything I ever had in the rest of my career. When I was teaching in local on-site schools, I was limited in my reach in how far that I can make a difference in the community. But here, it's truly worldwide. It spans the globe, and that's all thanks to international schooling. So reach is the word that I can say, and that is really fulfilling for me as a teacher, as a professional. That's one thing that I really want out of my career is fulfillment, and that reach that I am able to have here is definitely fulfilling.
How would you describe your online teaching style?
Maybe, I don't know, the only word that's coming to the front of my mind is varied. I make sure that I vary the way that I do things from class to class. I never do the same things, and yet I also have a routine. So it's kind of a bit of a mixture here, because I do have a routine and the students know what to expect, but it's always got a little variety. So that's why I say varied, because in every class, yes, we cover the core content, but I'm always giving supplemental things. I'm always doing some little extra thing that they are waiting for, and that's what they look forward to. So yeah, I try to keep it varied.
What inspires online students to stay engaged in their learning?
I'm drawing a blank here. I have a concept in my mind, and the thing that I want to say is, like, if I could wrap up the idea of them knowing that I'm putting myself in their position first before I'm teaching, and then I'm teaching as if I'm teaching to myself as a younger person. Okay, so if there's a word to describe that, it's slipping my mind. I'm sure there is one, but yeah, this is tricky. What inspires
The concept is beautiful, though. The concept is beautiful, I must say.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something that would express that in English, where if they could know, and they do know, because I tell them this, that I teach to them as if they were my own kids, and I treat them that way. So maybe what inspires them is maybe the paternal connection. I know that's not one word, but maybe paternality, or parent, almost like a father or a parent figure would be. So that's how I treat them. I treat them as if they're my kids, and I want the best for my kids, and so that's why I give them the best of me.
Why is online teaching such an effective and popular way to learn?
There are so many different things that rock about online learning, but I would say that it is comfort, and also because you can do it from the comfort of your own home. You can do it in the car. You can do it anywhere. Mobility, right? You can meet so many different kinds of people from around the world. That's a positive thing. That's a really nice and exciting thing to do, because a lot of people today don't get out much, right? We don't get out, and if you are in a situation where you don't get out, well, online learning is kind of an escape for you. It's kind of like a way out of that, and you get to meet people, interact with people from all over the world, and I could go on, but there really is tremendous opportunities with this, because you're making connections, friendships, and And what I do for a lot of my students is that, you know, they often ask me, hey, Mr. Jacob, can you write a recommendation letter for me? Can you do this for like university or something like that, or whatever it may be? So I gladly do that, and that's something I really enjoy doing. And so we help them to go not only in our school, but to take that next step.